Hello again, I am back. I've decided to make another video today, just to keep myself in the habit of doing these things. This is actually the second time I've tried to make this video. The first time I was very determined to only do it in one take, and then when I re-watched it, I noticed how many times I said, and things like that. So, I don't think that's going to work for the moment. If nothing else, then this whole video making process should hopefully eliminate some of the ums from my speech. So I am back in the same, almost exact same location, just angled differently. I think this looks a little bit better. With the same bad audio though, so enjoy that. And I've had the entire day off, which is kind of unusual for me, so I've been spending most of it writing. And I'm taking a break to make this video. My phone just went off, I don't know if you heard that or not, but I'm just going to power through it. Something that has always been interesting to me is listening to authors' writing processes, how they go about writing. I don't know if that's going to be interesting in my case, but I guess we'll see. I'm going to go for it. So there's an Ernest Hemingway quote that says, "Write drunk and edit sober." I don't do that. I'll let you take from that what you will. But what I do is, when I'm writing something, the actual process of creating it, right, typing things onto a blank screen, I will try and do a set number of words a day. Ideally, I write at least 500 words a day. And there's two reasons for that. The first one is that if I write something every day, I see my product growing, right? I see my story progressing towards the end. And that is something that is very encouraging to me. If I don't see that, I get fed up with something after a while. And the second reason, specifically for the number 500, is that I found that's my kind of threshold word count. And what I mean by that is that after 500 words, I'm usually on a bit of a roll. So if I sit down and I say, I don't feel like writing today so much, but I've promised myself I will write 500 words. By the time I get to that 500 word mark, I am usually on enough of a roll that I keep going past that. So it's very rare that I only actually write 500 words a day. It's usually a good number more. And of course, the other step to the writing process is what I'm doing right now, which is revising and editing. So I'm going through chapter by chapter and cutting all the stuff that I don't like and clarifying some of the things that made sense when I was writing them, but don't make any sense at all upon reading them, which happens an annoying amount. So for revision, my process is a bit different. What I will do is I will set aside, based on the day, I will set aside half an hour, 2 hours, and say that's how long I'm going to revise for, because it's a little bit less entertaining than regular writing. So saying I'm going to do a chapter a day usually will just result in me being bored and missing errors. So I set aside a certain amount of time that I think I can hold my focus for, even if I have to break it up throughout the day. I'm not a huge fan of revising, and I think a large portion of that is that I have horrible spelling. So a decent chunk of the time I spend revising is just on spell check, or on, finding words that I spelt so wrong my word processor thought it was a different word. I actually used to be in an English degree, and one of the many reasons I dropped that was that my spelling is so bad. Like, it's embarrassingly bad. Spell check is my best friend. I found that one of the dichotomies you can break writers into are the ones that just write and don't care what they're writing. They just write and don't look back at it until they're finished. And then there are the ones who are super critical of their writing while they're doing it. I am 100% the former. I will write through an entire novel and then I will go back, and that's when I revise. But I find that if I am critical of what I am writing while I'm doing it, unless it's super bad, like that makes absolutely no sense bad, I will spend all of my time just working on like one chapter of a 20-chapter book, which is very discouraging because you can be a month or 2 months in and you have one really good chapter, except all you have is one really good chapter. I'd rather have a kind of mediocre book that I can then go back and then try and bring up to the level that I would like it to be at. Because like I mentioned before, I get very discouraged if I don't see myself progressing towards a certain goal. And from a creative standpoint, I know a lot of people, a lot of writers, who have troubles coming up with ideas, and I don't so much. These things, I have a bunch floating around in my head, and just walking home or standing around any idle time, I'm usually toying with one of them. Like, how do I make this better? How would I develop this into a story that not just I find interesting, but a story that other people would find interesting, and that I think I'm capable of writing. Specifically with the project I'm working on right now, the original was 28 chapters long, about 12 to 15 pages a chapter on average. So a decent sized book. And I have revised 20 of those and broke a lot of them up. So I'm already at 24 chapters in the revised edition, and I still have 8 more to do. I'm hoping to get it done within a month. So, about 2 chapters a week. Not that anyone probably really cares. It doesn't really matter. It's not like I have deadlines at this point, right? Alright. So I think that's it. I am going through and watching these old clips now and realizing how annoying my own voice is. I apologize. It sounds so less silly in my head. Bye.